Well, in the wake of the police ambush in Dallas and the shootings in Louisiana and Minnesota, it's easy to cast blame and to point fingers. And a lot of people believe that that's going on, but we need more than anything else, healing to start. Earlier today, a group of interfaith ministers led a prayer vigil at Thanksgiving Square in Dallas. Hundreds gathered to support the message of how America can begin to heal itself once again. Joining us now, one of the ministers who was at the vigil earlier, Pastor Ben Lovvorn. Pastor, thanks a lot for joining us. I'm not sure if you got a chance to listen to Governor Abbott's comments a few minutes ago, but he talked about unity, he talked about resilience, and he talked about even finding purpose out of this extreme tragedy. I know that's usually the role of the church. How can we do that, though? How can we do that even beyond folks like you?
Yes, absolutely. Of course, our city is in grave mourning, and we held a prayer vigil in Thanksgiving Square today. Pastors from all faiths there to lead our people in prayer, praying for our city, praying for the Dallas Police Department, praying for Chief Brown, all of their families, and calling for unity, calling for the people to come together, to love, to refuse to hate. But of course, unity and healing is going to take time. And it takes more than holding hands on the day after a tragedy like this. In fact, God has already prescribed the healing process. In Scripture, He said, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear their prayer from heaven, and I will forgive their sin, and I will heal their land. And that's how we as a church lead in the healing process. It's time to turn back to God. You know, America has been a great nation because it's been one nation under God. And we've strayed from our godly heritage in many ways. Our prayer now is that God will somehow use this horrific tragedy to turn our nation back to Him, to the ultimate healer,
right.
And that's Jesus Christ.
Well, you were there last night. We saw scenes of people running. It was mass hysteria. You know, initially, you heard the press conference. There was a thinking that, you know, there were many shooters because the lone shooter actually was moving around and shooting from different locations. That fear, that anger, that anxiety that lingers, it was expressed in social media. It's expressed all over the country. It just feels like it doesn't take much, a lone shooter, to upset our world to a point where we start to revert backwards. Are you afraid that a few more things, a few more scenes like this, and it might be something that we can't stop, that we start to slide even further backwards?
Well, I think it's clear that our country is in a downward spiral. And it's up to us to turn that spiral around. Of course, our political leaders have to take a strong role in that, but we can't only depend on them. Pastors and churches have been called to lead the way.
Pastor, thank you very, very much. I really, really appreciate it.